All right. Well, it's been a very long time since I posted a video here on YouTube, and first of all, I want to apologize because I think the idea, for me at least, was to post a new video every 5 days. Then that became a challenge, and then trying to stream multiple times per week. Then that became a challenge, and yeah, here we are. So I'm going to break this video down by sections. So I guess the biggest thing is what's going on with work. So I've been working for the past almost 3 months. I work at a very small game studio. Very happy I got the position. It is not a full-time employee position. It is a 6-month contract. So I am a contracted worker, and I hope they keep me after 6 months. We'll see. They have the option to either extend my contract, hire me as a full-time employee, um, or not keep me and just say, yeah, we're good. I hope that's not the case, but we'll see. Um, Hopefully they keep me. But if not, then there's not much I can do about it. I'll just have to look for something else. But um, in relation to that, the GoFundMe that I created for my family, that so many of you have been so generous in donating to us and helping us while I was looking for work and trying to catch up on bills and other things. I paused donations or I stopped accepting donations in general for the campaign because I'm working, so there's no point in accepting money anymore. Now we're still paying off a bunch of debt, still catching up on things, but I'm employed, so I wouldn't feel comfortable continuing to accept money like that through GoFundMe, because I'm still working and um, yeah. Now, if it gets to a point where I'm not working anymore and I need help financially, or something happens and you know we both lose our jobs or something like that, then I'll start accepting donations again. But for the time being, there's no reason to even go to our campaign. So yeah, we greatly appreciate all the people who have taken the time to reach out, friends, family, old coworkers, complete strangers, um, and we're very grateful for those who were able to donate and help us out in that campaign. So thank you all very much. Like I said, that campaign is going to stay disabled. We're not going to be accepting donations anymore. So again, thank you to everyone who was able to do that for us and help us through a very difficult time. So yeah. Now the next thing I want to talk about is just life in general, what's going on. So as many of you know, we lost our cat Barry back in February, a few days before his 10th birthday. So um, it had been very difficult since we found out about his growth and that spreading, and um, I we both still feel like we could have done more, even though we didn't find out until extremely late. Um, and now it's to the point where, at least for Goten and Trunks, Trunks is our new cat. He's a little over a year old. He's very energetic, and um, we had been talking for a while about getting a companion for Goten because we noticed that Goten was obviously different. He had lost his big brother. He was very lonely. And cats need other cats to play with, to just hang around with, to get into trouble with. And, myself and Tanzania, we couldn't give Goten everything he needed in terms of playtime, energy, um, the level of understanding that another cat would. So we adopted Trunks. It's been a little over 2 months now. When we first brought Trunks home, he was extremely timid. Um, we were in very regular communication with his foster mom, and she mentioned that he was very cuddly, and he's used to being around younger kittens. And for some context, like Trunks was pretty old to be still um, not having been adopted. Usually, when you go to either a pet store or an adoption center, wherever it is, you find a lot of kittens, and most people want to adopt kittens so they can grow up with the family. But Trunks was the only one that was of his age, that was much older than a kitten. Um, he had a very unfortunate time, very difficult time when he was very tiny, when he was just born, from what I was told. And he's lucky to be alive. So, given that information, we kind of wanted to give him a chance. We saw photos of him, and I was like, okay, adorable cat. But it wasn't until we saw him in person that we were just like, oh yeah, we have to bring him home. So I'll be honest, it was very difficult for the first month of trying to get Goten used to Trunks, because we kept Trunks downstairs on the first floor. He had his own space, own litter box, water and food, toys, everything. And we had a baby gate set up so he could come up the first set of stairs, but he couldn't come to the second floor or go to the third floor. Over time, he kind of gotten used to sleeping on the stairs to be closer to everyone else. And Goten would go down and look through the gate and see him. And eventually, Goten realized there was another cat in the house. And that's when things started to become a problem initially, because Goten started to become stressed. The more and more he would get close to Trunks. And initially, when they first smelled each other, Goten hissed, but it wasn't like, I'm going to be aggressive and attack you. It was more so like, I don't know who you are. Why are you in my house? Eventually, we moved the baby gate to be a little closer to the actual living room. So Trunks would be able to come up the staircase, walk around the corner, and just be there. But he eventually learned how to jump the baby gate. And that's where the real issues began, because Goten was so used to coming all the way down to the second floor. All of his stuff was down here. Things that were items that he and Barry both used, beds they slept on, everything. So once Trunks got access to the second floor and was roaming around and everything, Goten completely shut down, wouldn't come down to the second floor, wouldn't use the litter box, wouldn't eat food down here. It was probably one of the most stressful times I've had in a while. Tanzania and I were we were trying to figure out what to do. We're looking up answers online, obviously, and like using AI to try to figure stuff out. And because we had never been in a situation like this where we lost a cat, or we had to raise a very young cat with an older cat. We had never been in those situations. So eventually it got to the point where we had to carry Goten down from the third floor just to use a litter box. And, he would roam around, smell a little bit, but then he would run back upstairs. And it wasn't until Trunks got access to the third floor, he became comfortable sleeping on the second floor. And we decided to bring Goten down to the second floor to his cat tower. I don't know if you can see it behind me, but that cat tower has only been used by Goten. This was something that we got after we lost Barry, specifically for Goten. and Goten is the only one who has jumped on it at all. Trunks walks under it, but he refuses to jump on like the little platforms or anything like that, which is interesting. But um, yeah, I think that cat tower is the only reason why Goten started becoming more comfortable down here, because he started to play. He started to roam around down here and smell things and rub his scent back on things, because I think since he detected Trunks' scent and realized that Trunks was down here majority of the time, he didn't want to be down here. But that all changed once we brought him down and put him on the tower, and we started doing that for a few days, bringing him to the cat tower, and yeah, it worked out very well, because a couple of days after we were doing that, after we started doing that, um, Tanzania was at work and I was down here. They were both down here, Trunks and Goten. Um, and Goten walked over to Trunks on the rug and they kissed noses. And I damn near almost broke down and cried because I was not expecting that. He did it another time later on. And they were sitting next to the door behind this camera, um, looking out at the balcony together. And it was just completely out of the blue, like just something you would not have expected to happen that fast. So yeah, it was amazing. It was a great moment, a lot of great moments that day, because they actually played with each other too. Um, it's just so weird how that happens. But yeah, I was very blown away by Goten's kind of acceptance of the situation and starting to accept Trunks into our home. So after that, it became like, okay, we think we're good. We think everything's good now. But that wasn't the case. Um, although Trunks and Goten started to get along, Goten was still a little weird around Trunks on the third floor. Um, he was not used to seeing him up in his last bit of space. Um, eventually, that he got over it, and they're both roaming around up there together. But that also took time, not just because of Goten, but because of Trunks. On the third floor, we have my office and our bedroom, and we have ceiling fans in both. And little did we know Trunks was terrified of ceiling fans. I think we spoke to his foster mom during that time, and she mentioned, "Yeah, I don't think he's been around ceiling fans. We don't have ceiling fans here. We don't have AC or anything like that either." So that's another thing we had to get Trunks used to, was being around the ceiling fans and wanting to come up into the rooms while they were on. So yeah, it was pretty insane. But eventually he got over it. I think it took another like week and a half before Trunks started hanging out upstairs all of the time while we were up there. So, and for me, I'm up there all the time because I work from home. My office is up there, and we obviously sleep up there. So, um, fast forward to today, Goten and Trunks play with each other every day, twice a day. It's it's a beautiful thing. It's something, and you know, it sucks that I have to say this, but I think he honestly feels more comfortable and more confident around Trunks than he did around Barry. And I think the only reason that is, due to the fact that Barry was the older brother, Barry was the older cat. Not by a lot, obviously, but um, you know, Barry and Goten had a special connection. They would play fight all the time. Um, then they would sleep next to each other. It's the brotherly love um, and I guess hate. I don't even know how to describe it, but you know, they had a special connection, and they had only been around each other. So yeah, it's it is great to see that Goten is being more confident now and acting like the bigger brother that he needs to be for Trunks. We are very, very happy about that. And, you know, between that and Goten now eating wet food regularly, which he completely despised um, for the longest. And as an older male cat, you know, one thing your vet will tell you is that your cat needs to drink more water because male cats tend to not drink enough water for some reason. So, um, yeah, he's still not drinking enough water, but now he's eating a mix of wet food and dry food. So he's getting his daily amount of moisture, which is good. But yeah, if you see Trunks drink water, it's insane. He drinks like a crackhead. He drinks like Barry, honestly. Like a lot of things about Trunks reminds us of Barry, and it's very like it's very interesting because you would never like there's some things about Barry that you would just never expect any other cat to do. Um, but some of those things we see in Trunks. And we don't know if that's because he's so young or he's also an orange cat. He's a very light orange cat, but still. Um, or maybe that's just Barry trying to reach out through Trunks and you know show that he's still around. I don't know, but um, long story short, like I think we were very fortunate to adopt Trunks and the way it happened, and you know Trunks' connection to Goten now, and the way they act around each other, and Goten's personality, and him being so accepting of everything now, and yeah, it's beautiful. Um, so you know, both of the cats now they're doing really well. They're eating food like they're supposed to. They're playing, and it's beautiful. Um, I think the next thing I'll talk about is just content creation. Um, I haven't been doing much of it, and that's because I've been so focused on work and the cats and just stuff around the house, and obviously, you know, Tanzania, and you know, my priorities basically, um, the important stuff. So, not to say that content creation isn't important to me. It's just it's hard to focus on something like that when you have higher priority things going on. So, yeah, I think the goal now going forward is to just upload a video once a week. And, you know, it's going to be a mixture of stuff. So I still want to do these type of videos, these talking head videos, giving you guys updates, talking about my career in tech and gaming. But also I'm going to get back to doing the tech videos, the reviews, unboxing, stuff like that. Um, Obviously, it's not going to be a ton of new products because I don't have that kind of money, and we're still paying some stuff off. So you may get a sprinkle of tech related like reviews over the next few months. Um, I will be doing probably more things like app reviews and stuff like that. And yeah, I hope you all continue to support the channel. This is going to be the main thing I want to focus on creatively going forward. As far as streaming is concerned, I would love to be able to stream regularly, but that's just not possible. It's not possible with my schedule and you know working full time and also trying to create videos, and streaming is very time and energy consuming, you know. And although I love playing games and streaming and interacting with people in the stream, I'd rather spend that time making videos which don't take up as much time. Um, I have a great time with in terms of editing and uploading and doing SEO work and all that stuff. Um, and we'll get way more eyes on them, if I'm being honest. YouTube's a way bigger platform. Twitch has been going downhill for the longest time now. And sure, you may see some of these gigantic creators on there or streamers, but there's very few of them. Majority of streamers on Twitch don't get a lot of attention. They don't get, they don't make a lot of money compared to some of these top streamers. And it's very difficult to grow on a platform. It's extremely difficult to grow on a platform unless you're collaborating with big name streamers and you're doing that on a regular basis until your platform grows. So realistically, I think I'll probably stream here and there going forward, but my priority is going to be YouTube and making videos on YouTube. Another reason I want to focus on YouTube is because I am going to be releasing a course in the future, and that will be on YouTube as well. I just don't know if that's going to be on the current YouTube channel or if I'm going to create a new YouTube channel for that. That's going to be tied to QA, quality assurance, and trying to get into QA, understanding software and video game testing, and as well as maybe some production stuff that could be helpful to people. Because I've been working in QA for 12 years now. I've worked in production for almost a year. I've worked in development. I've worked in live ops. I've worked in customer support. So I've worked in a lot of different types of development and in different roles, from entry level to senior leadership to, software as a service, live service games. Just a lot of different types of companies and roles I've worked at and in. So yeah, I think the course is going to be very good. I think I have a lot of different perspectives in terms of how things should be done and how a lot of companies are kind of slacking in terms of their processes and communication and things like that. So just be on the lookout for that. The goal for that is to hopefully get that out by the end of the year, but we'll see. That's the goal. That doesn't mean it's actually going to happen, but that's my personal goal, is to get that out by the end of the year. So yeah. And then as far as the digital products outside of the course, I'm still planning to release those, but that likely won't be until next year. I want to focus on getting to a regular cadence of uploading YouTube videos and then getting to a good place with the course before I start working on other digital products. And then we'll see what happens from there. But yeah, that is the plan right now. Focus on YouTube. Get back to making all of these videos that I was making before. Start working on this course. And then maybe stream once in a while. Like I said, streaming is not going to be the biggest priority for me, but I will continue to do it here and there when time permits. So yeah, I think the last thing I'll say is, things are just weird. It's hard to properly plan stuff when you have so many things going on, so many things you have to worry about. I'm not saying it's like I'm the only person that goes through this, but like, it's just hard. You want to be able to do a million things at once. You just don't have enough time. You don't have enough energy or resources to do all of this stuff at once. And that kind of discourages you. And to be honest, I was very discouraged from uploading videos, streaming, doing a lot of things that I really enjoy doing. But, I wanted to make this video to prove that I can get back into it and continue doing those things. So, and to also give you all an update as to why I haven't been streaming, why I haven't been uploading videos, what the plan is going forward for the channel. So now you have that. I think overall we're doing okay. Like I said, we're working, we're focusing on paying stuff off, and after that, in terms of like personal stuff, is just trying to save money. It's hard. A lot of stuff's happening, things are going up in price, just the way it is. So outside of that, like I said, YouTube videos going to be happening once a week. QA course is coming. That's going to be on either this channel or another channel. I haven't decided yet. So once I figure that out, I'll let you all know. But yeah, and then the streams will happen when they happen. They'll happen when they happen. But when I do decide to stream, I will post on social media. So follow me at Jamil T. Davis on Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky. I no longer have a TikTok. I deleted it for 2 reasons. One, I don't even use TikTok. The only reason I was using TikTok was to upload clips from my streams and from my YouTube videos. I don't doom scroll. I don't like being on social media like that. It's extremely unhealthy, and I hate doing that. So I just deleted it. There's no reason for me to have it. So outside of that, like, I think that's it. I think those are the only social media platforms that I'm on right now. And the only one I really use is Instagram on a regular basis. But I don't like really look at it that much, if that makes sense. So yeah, just follow me at Jamil T. Davis on Instagram, Threads, and Blue Sky. I will be posting more on those platforms in relation to the content that I'm creating, but yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm not posting anywhere else. So yeah, I think that's it. That's the update. That's what's going on with me, the cats, wife, work, content creation. So if you have any questions or anything like that, leave a comment below. If there's any type of tech-related videos or videos about my experience in tech or gaming that you want to see on the channel, leave a comment below. If you want to see more posts about my cats on social media, also leave a comment below. But until next time, I will catch you all later.